since I am the RC surgeon. What's up, guys? Welcome back. On today's episode, we're going to cover two different topics. On my left here, I have some tires. Now, I've been running my Baja clone for quite some time, and most of the driving I do is on pavement. And yes, as you would expect, the original pin-style tires are beginning to get a little bit worn and flat. So I thought it's about time that I order up some cheap replacement tires. Now, what's great about the fit scale wheels, and we're gonna take these apart and we're going to be mounting this extra tire on it. I've already mounted one on actual rim itself, and as you could tell, it's actually a little bit bigger. So I'm hoping that this slight diameter advantage is gonna give me maybe about 2 more miles per hour. That's gonna be really nice. I only paid about $25 for just the tires, which is really cheap. These were from the Rovan seller on eBay. Let me put a picture here from the actual auction. And these do not come with the actual wheels, as you could tell. What's great about these is you can only just buy the tires. You don't have to purchase the wheels. Now, to me, that's not a big deal because I don't plan on interchanging these with any other RCs that I have. So if you just want to get some new tires and, you know, have some pretty cool looking trencher style tread, which I think these are called the excavators, and they basically fit all of these kind of Baja style wheels. They're all pretty much industry standards. We're gonna take apart the actual wheel here, check out what's inside, how it's held together. We're gonna look at the foam inside, and I've already done one just to make sure that I can do it, but it's really, really nice. It feels like a little bit heavier, but the tread itself here feels like it's a little bit more reinforced. You could tell inside the tire you have this kind of small rubber tread pattern, and inside the original tire to this one you don't have anything. In the second part of this video, we're gonna take this HPI NITRO MT2 with a G3.0 engine. We're gonna take it outside to the field. This is the one that Jeremy, no last name, drove, where he beat the Lexus with it. Here we go. I won. All you need is a 20-year-old HPI. Honestly, I told the people in the video this thing probably hits about 40. This is fully stock, but honestly, I think it's faster. So it's a good time to test this. I have my Dynamite speed meter here on the back. I actually think this is faster than 40. Now, if you look on the HPI website, of course, this has been discontinued for probably 10 years now. They state that this will hit 73 kilometers per hour, which is 43 miles per hour. So I'm hoping to get 43. If I get more than that, that's gonna be really, really good. This is just a single speed, completely as stock as possible. The only modification I've done here so far, let me spin the front tires. You can see that I have a rear-wheel drive only system going here. The reason is the front tires on this are just so bad. They basically just ballooned and expanded, and they're extremely crooked. So the rubber is kind of coming off of the foam itself. I don't want to have it in a four-wheel drive mode, so right now we're just going to run it as a rear-wheel drive only. These rear tires are from a different HPI, but they are still the same exact tire size. So this is still a fairly good test. Now, not something that Jeremy, no last name, would ever do, because I actually feel like I got stupider by watching his show. He's a great guy and all. Yeah, he knows the stick. That's pretty nice. I don't know the stick, but hey, at least we're gonna learn some cool facts in this episode. Are you ready? The first thing to do is to remove this outside ring, which is a beadlock. It's held on by basic 2.5mm screws. Now, since I am the RC surgeon, I am gonna be using some gloves. Why not, right? Here we go. Backwards, let's take out all of these. Okay, all of the screws are out on the outside beadlock. Let's remove it. It simply just comes out. There's a good amount of dirt here inside, but you could see that the way this thing is mounted, it's actually really good. What's great is you don't need any tire glue whatsoever. Okay, it's the beadlock from the back. It's the same exact ring, just a slightly different size. So now we could basically just remove the tire. Let's see what it does. Here we go. So it's in this groove on the wheel itself. Pretty nice setup, actually. Very surprising. I always wanted to do this because very interesting and unique thing about these fit scale tires. I mean, they put down so much power to the ground, and I've never had any issue with the tires spinning through the beadlock of any kind. All right, here we go. Now the easiest thing. Here we go. So this is the inner foam piece that we are obviously going to keep. These tires did not come with extra foams, but these are in good shape, it looks like so far. Not the easiest thing here. Okay, here we go. this is what we have left. So this is the tire itself, right? You can see inside there's absolutely nothing here. There's no extra tread, just like this new one has. So this seems to be a little bit better reinforced, which is nice. Okay, so this is the foam. At this point, you can remove it if you wanted to. It just simply slides off like this. And this is literally all there is to a tire. It's a couple pieces of plastic, obviously, a piece of foam, which in this case, it's in really good shape. You could see that the indents here, which perfectly slide back into place. You can't really mess anything up. It's as easy as can be. Okay, I washed the beadlock rings themselves. They're in really good shape. You could easily reuse these. These were just gonna replace back onto the rim itself. The rim is also clean. At this point, just slide this back on. The writing here goes on the outside of the rim. Okay, slide this on. Let's see, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you get this on there, right? It's like one of those things, as long as you do it, you do it. Okay, basically have some of it on right now. Now I'm just gonna pull one side at a time, a little bit. Okay, the tire mostly has its shape right here. At the end, very important, there's also grooves that you have to make sure that the tire fits into. The back of the tire is also now fitting nicely into the grooves. It seems to be pretty flat and level. I don't see anything noticeably distorted with the tire. Now you could easily just put these beadlocks back in and reinstall the screws. Notice how at the end I'm gonna use a hand tool. I don't like to use the drill even on a very light setting. You could easily just strip the inside of these threads with these screws, and in that case eventually your bead might actually come out from the tire. You know, these tires do have a lot of force acting upon them, so make sure that you kind of take your time doing this. People generally choose this style of tire because it is very long lasting. It hooks up really well in dirt, gravel, sand, almost in any terrain that I've seen. A lot of the more high-end rovan copies do come with these tires already installed, so really nice. Now let's go outside, start this up. This thing has a really convenient roto start system, which is pretty easy. It starts all the time. Now, of course, not the best for speed. For speed, you want to have a sealed back plate and a starter box. I don't have a starter box, so the roto start is going to be the best option for us. So let's go. Guys, see that I got 50 miles an hour from this thing. I mean, I'm honestly extremely surprised. From a stock, I would say 10-plus-year-old HPI NITRO MT2, 50 miles per hour is extremely acceptable. I ran my old Traxxas Rustler with a 2.5 engine not too long ago in one of my videos, and I only got 39 miles an hour. So this is on a completely different level of its own. Check out this graph I found in an old RC Nitro magazine. The HPI NITRO MT is not even on the list of the competition. Now, on the graph it says the Traxxas Jado is the fastest. This was like basically a bottom of the barrel, you know, basic 0.18 roto start engine, and I got 50 miles an hour from it years later. Very surprised. This is one of the main reasons I like this, and I gotta say it handled extremely good. It did not flip even once, even with just rear wheel drive. Let me give you guys a little bit of perspective on the motor in this. HPI rated this at 2.2 horsepower. Now, if you look at a comparison with the Traxxas 3.3, the 3.3 is actually a little bit bigger than this. This is a 3.0, so that means it's a 0.18 size engine. The 3.3 is a 0.20 cubic inch size engine. And honestly, all of the information I researched about the Traxxas 3.3, in terms of horsepower, it's basically safe to say that it's less than 1.5 horsepower. So this is 2.2 compared to the Traxxas's 3.3 engine with 1.5 or less. Now, if any of you guys could find the actual horsepower spec, please make sure you do. But as of now, this engine, I gotta say, is extremely superior to the Traxxas 3.3 engine. And if you look at it this way, they use that in the Traxxas Revo. I mean, that's a giant four-wheel drive heavy truck. This is a very lightweight stadium truck chassis platform, and it is extremely overpowered with just one gear, guys. When I ran my Traxxas Revo with the OS18TZ motor, I only got 43 miles an hour with a 2-speed. So this is extremely good. With the 2-speed, I mean, I'm scared to even know how fast it's going to be. Maybe it'll be about 65 or more, but it surpassed the claim that HPI made. This is probably a historic moment. This car should have been on one gear because, guys, I've in fact proved that for this particular chassis, one gear is all you need. There it is, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, or if you prefer Jeremy no last name, also no information, just put in the comments below. I'll be happy to have him back on my show. It's quite easy for me. All I have to do is put on a different shirt and change my personality into an asshole, right? There it is, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time.